What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Phenax Crank. I hope you're excited for the Mind Crank combo. Maybe. Just a little bit of Tezzeret. But as far as opening hand goes, yeah, I'm not too wild about this. I mean, we do have Chrome Mox. It's kind of quick, but don't really have a lot of artifacts. And then that mulligan, no. Did not like this one. Let's go one more go on this one. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Hey, we got Mind Crank. We'll keep on this one. See what the scry is. Get that going, and then I'll cover our commanders in just a second. Gilded Lotus, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Yeah, we'll go and put that on top. Maybe we might need it. Alright, we're going to go and kick it over our opponent. They are on the play. We're playing Phenax, God of Deception. Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then creatures you control have target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into their graveyard, where X is this creature's toughness. Let's go and get the Creeping Tar Pit down. Anything else, we're going to kick it over. Playing against Rashmi. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-link card with a converted mana cost less than that spell's, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast the revealed card, put it into your hand. And we cover both commanders. It is free time. We can talk about whatever we want. Okay. Opponent's going to get the Coiling Oracle down. Get a... Ooh, got the Predator. Oh, that's going to be pretty gnarly. Everflowing Chalice. Yeah, let's go and get Urborg down. I think we're okay with that. Let's get Urborg down. What do we need to go for? Let's see if we can't... Yeah, we're going to have to deal with the Predator. It's going to be pretty hard for us to deal with. Let's go and get the Sculptor down. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's get the Sculptor down. That way next turn we can get the Island down. Gilded Lotus will cost 1 less. Then we might be able to go for a good Everflowing Chalice. Hopefully we can find a way to kind of deal with the Predator. Unfortunately, that's going to be a pretty big card in this particular matchup, dealing with a lot of the artifacts that we have on the battlefield. But we can also kind of win through it, and we'll see what's kind of going on. Our opponent's not going to get it down just yet. Looks like they got the Search for Azcanteka down. Alright, see if they want to swing it the 1-1. We're not going to block on this one. Alright, and they opt to pass it to us. So let's see what we draw into. Removal spell would be great. Trading Post. Okay, let's go and get the Island down. We can go for a 1, 2, 3, 4 off Everflowing Chalice with it costing 1 less. Yeah, let's go and go for that. Cast it with the multi-kicker for 2. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to cost 1 less because of the Sculptor out there. Get that down, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So next turn, we're looking at Gilded Lotus. That's going to be 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll still have 4 more mana. Creeping Tar Pit, and we can also get the Trading Post down. And also probably, might be able to get down Mind Crank before they can start going to town with the Predator. Now, if we do get down Mind Crank, they probably going to be the first thing that they're going to go for. Once we do get that down, we don't really have a whole lot going on in the hand. We just have a couple different artifacts to kind of get that rolling. And kind of see what we can kind of get into. It's not too bad. Opponent gets down a Simic Growth Chamber, enters the battlefield, bounce the land back to the hand. Okay, so we still got a little bit of time. But outside of the artifacts, we do have Tezzeret in here, which is a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get, actually, let's go ahead and go for this. Let's go 1, 2, 3, Gilded Lotus. Okay, get down the Gilded Lotus. Let's go ahead and tap that down for 3. Let's go for the Scrap Trawler. Yeah, I like that. Let's get that down. That way we can start bringing stuff back to the hand in case something kind of crazy happens. Let's go for the Mind Crank. And then we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn. We could swing it for 1 if we want to. We'll have 1 up. Yeah, we'll go and do that. Push in for 1. Put him down to 26. And then kick it over to their turn. So we do have Mind Crank on the battlefield. If we draw into some sort of tutor, we do have Grim Tutor. I will be able to tutor up Dustmantle Guildmage, and then if we don't really find anything next turn, we can at least get down Phenax and start kind of milling our opponent out. We'll see if they have any of the OG Eldrazi in there to kind of stop us from milling, but definitely go for that. But if you did miss it, I did put this deck out, I think like 2 Fridays ago, and if you did miss the deck tech, what are we doing? We're looking to win with the Mind Crank combo. I love playing Mind Crank. I play a lot of Mind Crank in Modern, and it's just absolutely silly how much I've played over the years. And so I just kind of wanted to have a home for the Mind Crank combo in Commander, and here it is, the Phenax deck. Ooh, drawn to Impulse, okay. Yeah, let's go and go for Impulse, I think. We hadn't made the land drop for the turn. Yeah, let's go and do that. So we're looking at Island, and then I guess we'll just go and tap the Everflowing Chalice. You know, we'll probably still go and get the Trading Post down. Let's go and tap for 1. Let's get this moved over there. Ooh, go for the throat. That is exactly what we need. So let's go and grab that. Go for the throat. It'd be nice to go for Dustmantle Guildmage, but with that Predator, it kind of puts us in a weird spot where it's going to be hard for us to kind of deal with that Predator unless we get it off the battlefield. So let's go and grab Go for the throat. There we go. And put the rest on the bottom in any order. So hopefully we can still find Dustmantle Guildmage somehow. Let's go and get the Gilded Lotus down for 3. Let's go Trading Post. And it's still going to give us 2 mana left up. Anything else? Now we're going to go and kick it back over to our opponent. Alright, moving on over. But yeah, so we could have gone for Dustmantle Guildmage. That would have put our opponent on a pretty fast clock. You know, they could have countered it potentially. Maybe would have had the win next turn with the actual combo itself, but we don't really have a way to get a card into the graveyard at this point right now. So I kind of feel better going for go for the throw. But we'll find another way to go for that. But outside of the artifacts in the Mindcrank combo, we are running a lot of Tezzeret style action in here. We have a little bit of hate stacks in here. We have Ensnaring Bridge, which is always a lot of fun to kind of get that down. It allows us to get into the spots where we can kind of go for a Tezzeret activation win, which is always fun. And actually, fun fact, I started working on this deck before they made the legendary Planeswalker change. And if you don't know about it, you can have multiple copies of the same Planeswalker on the battlefield. You know, used to, if you had 2 copies of Jace, you had to choose which Jace you wanted to have on the field at once. And so with us running like I think 4 or 5 Tezzerets in here, it actually works really good with what we've got going on. Okay, let's go and get the Ghost Quarter down. Let's go and go for Phenax. I think that sounds good. That's going to be 1, 2, and then 3 off the Gilded Lotus. Actually, yeah, let's go 1, 2, 3. We'll go and tap out for black. And I guess we'll just go ahead and leave up the... No, we'll go and tap the Ghost Quarter down. That way we can represent counter magic. We still have Everflowing Chalice and Double Islands up. Alright, get down Phenax. Anything else? I think we're going to go and pass it back over to our opponent. So we can slowly start milling them out. We're sitting at about 4 cards a turn. It's not really going to mill our opponent out super quick, but it's something we can kind of start working towards. Now, as far as Devotion goes for Phenax, we are pretty far away from Devotion. Usually we're going to use Tezzeret as kind of our Devotion builder for Phenax to kind of get that going. But yeah, so Mindcrank and Modern. The fun thing about Mindcrank is that I started my channel, I'm trying to think, almost 2 years ago. And I did it for like 2 or 3 months. And then at the same time, I was really getting into Modern. And so I don't know why, I just picked up the Mindcrank combo and I like went deep on the Mindcrank combo. I played it for like a year and a half straight. I didn't play any Commander for a year. And then yeah, I just went really deep on Mindcrank. It was a really kind of fun Magic experience. You know, I just played in the morning, played at night, and just try and like make it work for Modern. And I'm still unsuccessful at it at this point right now, which is kind of a bummer because it's just kind of a weak combo for Modern. I mean, it's really, when you can execute it really well, it's a lot of fun, but it's just kind of it just lacks that punch. So I'm still kind of working on it. It's like my little garage deck that I bust out every once in a while when I'm feeling Magic bored. But yeah, so I spent like a year doing that, and then I finally got to the point where I was like, all right, hey, we need to do something. Let's get that channel going back again, and I'm glad I did because I've met a lot of cool people. So, long story short, that's the Mindcrank story. If you have been a long-time subscriber, you've probably heard that story, so I do apologize. But yeah, I always get new subscribers, so I always like to kind of retell those stories. Let's go and activate the Sculptor, choosing our opponent. You know, if we can get a mill win, we'll go for it. Get down the Scrap Trawler for 3. And if we want to with the Scrap Trawler, we could start kind of milling ourselves. If we wanted to, we have the trading posts out there too. So that's something we could go for. We'll see what exactly we want to kind of dredge up with that. Reality Shift, exile target creature. Yeah, let's go ahead and spread the wealth just a little bit over to us. Maybe we kind of mill an artifact we can bring back or something. Who knows? Let's kind of split it up. Arcane Denial and River of Tears. Okay. Then we're going to get a 2/2 creature for that. Let's see what the Temple of Deceit. Manifested token. Okay, we do draw into Hostage Taker. And I think we'll actually be able to cast that off Rashmi. Now, if we do go for it, if we exile Rashmi, it's actually going to go back to the command zone, so we're not going to be able to cast it. So if we want to, we could go for the Coiling Oracle, just kind of get a little extra card draw. Or at least go for like a land, a little bit of library manipulation. Yeah, let's go and do that. That's going to be, looking at black off the island. Let's go triple blue. Let's go for Hostage Taker. Just kind of want to get a little bit of action going. Let's go and exile the Coiling Oracle. And let's go and cast that card. There we go. Okay. If we get it down, there we go. Sorry. I'm telling you, the times where I just like play around with mana like that. Alright, we're drawn to Ob Nixilis. Wonderful. We can't get it down just yet, but we can go for that next turn. If we wanted to, we'd go for the throne on Rashmi. But I kind of like the board state we've got going right now. You know, if we want to start slow rolling our opponent's library with creature cards, with milling, we can definitely go for that. Anything else? Now we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're leaving up, go for the throat for the Predator that we know that they do have in the hand. Then next turn we can go for Ob Nixilis, kind of get that card draw going, and still kind of keep our good board state. We've got our milling up to about 3, 5. It's going to be 7 and 8. So we're looking at milling our opponent out about 8 a turn. And with that hostage taker, it's actually going to add some devotion. So we're actually 1 away from getting devotion online between the Sculptor and the Coiling Oracle. And then actually we'll have it online with Obnixilis next turn. So we'll be in a good spot if we want to go for that mill win. You know, if our opponent does have some of the, like a shuffle effect, we have to watch out for that. But we can definitely kind of close it out. And I think that's the fun thing about the deck is that there's so many different lines of play to take with this deck. You know, we can always push the Mind Crank combo. We have the Tezzeret activation wins, and then also sometimes you can just get a bunch of creatures down and start milling them out. You know, especially if you go for something like Worm Coil Engine, you can start milling them out for 6. That's always fun. Okay, our opponent is going for Clever Impersonator. Who did they choose on this one? I guess Hostage Taker. We'll see. We'll see who it enters the battlefield as. The good thing is we do not have Obnixilis down, so if they want to choose like Phenax or something, then go for that. But we'll see what they show for it. Okay, and they do reveal the Temporal Spring off Rashmi, and they're going to bounce our Creeping Tar Pit back to the hand. I guess I'm just going to add blue mana in response to that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And we can still make the land drop next turn. That's not the end of the world with that. It goes on top of our library. And see what they choose with the Clever Impersonator. Oh, going for double bounty. All right. I like it. And this is one of those cards that whenever they printed it for Amonkhet, like, it reminded me so much of one of those, like, old school Magic cards that you're just like, what? What does it do? Like, if you ever bought one of those random collections online, they have some of those just wall of text cards that are just like, oh, okay. Alright, opponent's going to go for Crossing Grip, but I don't think there's really anything we can do in response to that. It's not a mana ability. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, it's going to go into the bin. We still have Trading Posts, so we can sacrifice an artifact to bring it back out of the graveyard if we need to. But at this point, I kind of like holding on to Everflowing Chalice and Gilded Lotus, so kind of see what we want to get down. And they are tapped out, so the coast is clear to go for Obnixilis, so we'll be in a good spot for that. Alright, they go for Serum Visions, then anything else on that last mana. I think we're okay. Now, at this point, do we want to start milling ourselves? Really, the only thing that we really want to get would be some sort of stacks effect, and we're in a good position where we don't need it, so let's just go and dump it on our opponent. Hit them for 2. Let's go for the Manifest token. And the Devotion is still at 6, so we'll be online for Obnixilis next turn. Alright, anything else? No. Let's go and kick it back over to our turn. There we go. Okay, and then we draw into that Creeping Tar Pit. Let's go and get that down. Let's go for Obnixilis. It's going to be triple black off the Gilded Lotus. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2 off the Everflowing Chalice. Now we can draw a card. If we go for the -3 ability, we could swing in. That's going to be looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put our opponent down to 14. We're going to miss out on some milling, though. Yeah, let's go and go for that. Let's go for the -3 on Rashmi. Let's go and push in. We might be able to get a bigger combat damage clock than we can a milling clock. I think I like that. Let's go and push him with the whole crew. Swinging in. Got Phenax swinging in. He's getting dirty today. Love it. All right, put our opponent down to 14 and then anything else. No, we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're completely open. We don't really have to worry about anything sort of haste from green and blue. I mean, there are a few haste enablers, but I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot. Okay, get the bounty triggers on the stack. There we go. But yeah, so basically with Mind Crank, yeah, and then whenever Star City Games would come to my town, I live in Texas, and so they usually come to Dallas, so I would go to the Dallas Star City Games, and that's like the only modern deck I would take up there, and that was the only thing I'd kind of get out there for. So it got to the point to where like my only Magic experience was playing Mind Crank at tournaments, and I would just always get crushed. It was just such a defeating like experience to like, you know, go 4 or 5 rounds and just end up like 2 and 3 or something like that. And so I remember the day I left out of the Star City game event where I just like I dropped around 5 and I was like, all right, we tried to live this modern brew master whatever dream. Let's just go ahead and get go to work on the channel. Let's get that going. Okay, let's go for the throat on the Predator. That way we can at least kind of clear the way for us to start swinging in. There we go. Tap out for black. And our opponent does have the Azcanta flip, so we can go for the Ghost Quarter if we want to, which we may end up doing that next turn. Still going to be looking at 8, 9, 10, so that will put our opponent down to 4. Drawn to Grim Tutor. So we go triple black on Gilded Lotus. I think we can, yeah, let's go and do that. Let's go triple black on Gilded Lotus. Let's go for Grim Tutor. We might be able to activate one of our Tezzerets. Let's see if we have enough mana. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Let's see what Tezzeret kind of helps us get out from underneath this one. Okay, let's grab the Tezzeret Master of Metal. Let's grab that one. You know, if our opponent has a counterspell, so be it. At least we're going to be able to swing in for combat and go for the activation. Let's actually go and draw a card off Obnixilis. Let's go and get Tezzeret down. That's going to be 1, 2. Let's go black, blue, and then tap the Ghost Quarter. Okay, get down Tezzeret. Let's go for the -3 ability, targeting our opponent. We're looking at about 1, 2, 3. Yeah, put him down to 10, and that should be lethal right there, I think. Let's go and swing in and see if they have any sort of answers for it. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they're 1 away from Cyclonic Rift. So we'll see if they have any like sort of flash creatures or something like that. Aetherizer would definitely be online to kind of send all of our creatures back out. We'll see what they have. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aether Spouts. There we go. All right, it's going to go on the bottom. Try to live the dream. And then let's go ahead and I guess we'll just put it on the bottom. Put Temple Deceit on the bottom. Do we want Hostage Taker? I think I like putting all these on the bottom right now. Let's see what we can't draw into. We do have Videlican Aether Mage, so if we do we can search up Deathmetal Guild Mage and still cast Phenax out of the command zone, and then go for that. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. So, we did walk into Aether Sprouts. We're not dead yet. We can still plus up Tezzeret for the plus ability, reveal artifacts until we hit one, and that's going to put us in a spot to where we can go for another activation off Tezzeret. And then we still have Obnixilis too to kind of go for that. But you can kind of see where the deck can kind of go through different lines of plays, in that if we don't really have the Mindcrank combo, we can kind of start working towards like a Planeswalker, hey, deal with me now or I'm going to win the game. And then plus, minusing Tezzeret for some activations off artifacts. Oh, never gets old. Now the 4 mana Tezzeret, the black-blue one, that one's a lot of fun because you can use the -4 ability for your opponent to lose twice the number of artifacts that you control. So if you get a lot of the artifact lands down, you get a lot of utility artifacts, you know, something like a Ensnaring Bridge, go for that activation, oh, adds up pretty quick. Alright, opponent's going to go for Courser of Crufix. But yeah, with us having Videlican Aether Mage, we can use that wizard cycling ability to search up Deathmetal Guild Mage, and then that puts us in a spot where we can go for those activations, and you know, if we get Devotion back online for Phenax, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with Deathmetal Guild Mage on the battlefield. So we kind of get into spots where we can get down Phenax next turn, and then go for Videlican Aether Mage on the Deathmetal activations. Alright, opponent's going to get down Leyline. And then let's see what we draw into. We do have Mindcrank in the graveyard if we want to go for Trading Post too. In fact, is that what we're going to go for? Let's get this popped down just a little bit. Let's go and go for the draw a card, lose a life off Obnixilis. Yeah, I think I like that. Draw into Counterspell. Okay, let's go and go for the plus on Tezzeret. Reveal until we hit an artifact. Draw into Dimir Signet. Okay. So what we can do, if we want to go for the Tezzeret activation next turn, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to put our opponent down to 5. We can go for Trading Post on Mindcrank to get that down for 1, 2. Deathmantle. We need to. Oh, and then we also have Ghost Quarter, so we might be able to go for that. I'm thinking like that. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, and then Trading Post is going to put the card into our hand. Yes, that is correct. So let's go for Dimir Signet off the Gilded Lotus. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and use that mana to tap the Dimir Signet. Let's activate the Trading Post, sack an artifact. No, excuse me, sacrifice a creature. Okay, so we need to put a goat onto the battlefield. Let's put a goat on the battlefield. Using that one, then we can sacrifice that creature and bring Mindcrank back to the hand once we cycle Videlican Aether Mage. Alright, we got the goat on the battlefield. Let's go ahead and go for, get down the crawl space. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And that still puts us on cycling Videlican Aether Mage, or we have Counterspell backup to kind of stop anything from our opponent. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Okay, that's the good thing with Videlican Aether Mage, is that it has Wizard Cycling. It's usually not a, you don't really see it a lot in Commander, but it's actually a pretty good card. It's 3 mana, discard this card, search your library for an artifact, and then you get to, for a wizard, and really kind of search up anything. There's like a lot of good wizards in Commander, so it's a pretty good card to kind of run in there. Now it is funny running that card in Modern because whenever you put it on the battlefield, and you don't really see it that lot. Especially in Commander you don't see it, but especially in Modern it's just like pretty much non-existent. So whenever I plop it down on the battlefield, it's always Get some kind of questionable looks whenever I plop it down, or they don't really understand what's happening. And then also, the funny thing is that if you're playing against Merfolk, Vidalcan Aether Mage has an ability of whenever it enters the battlefield, return target sliver to its owner's hand. And so you can use it to bounce your opponent's Mutavault back to the hand. You know, that situation doesn't really come up a lot, but since you're running it, it's definitely need to kind of know about that line of play. I did it in a tournament one time. I kind of dialed in Vidalcan Aether Mage and bounced their Mutavault, and they're just like, oh, yep, well, that's a thing. Or unless you get paired up against slivers, then you can just have a pretty good card in the hand to bounce some slivers back to the hand. Okay, our opponent does have Ancestral Vision on top of the library. See what they're going to cast this turn. They're going to go for Rashmi. Go for that Lifecrafter's Bestiary. Sure, go for it. Yeah, I mean, we could counter that, but I like going for the Cycle off Vidalcan Aether Mage, and then we can activate Trading Post to kind of get that down. And I think we might have enough mana to get everything down and go for the activation with the Ghost Quarter Enabler, getting the card into the graveyard. So we'll kind of see how it shakes down, but I think we'll have enough, because we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We cycle. That's going to be getting that down. Mindcrank 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we might have just enough. We'll kind of see how it shakes out. And if we don't want to go for the Ghost Quarter, we can actually go for the Omnixilis, destroy target creature. So if we destroy a Courser of Crufix, we can destroy that creature and get the combo enabling that way whenever Courser hits the bin. Alright, opponent's going to be swinging at the Omnixilis for 2. Yeah, I think that's okay. I like leaving up the goat for the Trading Post. Yeah, go for it. Alright, swinging in for 2 is going to put his Omnixilis down to 2, which we can still go for that plus up on it. Alright, ooh. Or you can just draw into Dustmantle Guildmage. That works too. Let's go ahead and bring Mindcrank back to the hand. Talk about luck on that one. Let's go ahead and tap the Everflowing Chalice. There we go. Let's go and sacrifice the goat, bring the Mindcrank back to the hand. Let's go for Mindcrank. Actually, let's tap the Dimir Signet. Let's go for Mindcrank. We're going to get Mindcrank down onto the battlefield. Or if they have a counterspell, we at least do have counterspell backup on that one. Alright, they go for counterspell. Let's go for a counterspell of our own. That's going to be double blue. And then we still have the activation off that one. Yeah, let's go counterspell on their counterspell. Let's see if they have a backup counterspell for this one before that Rashmi trigger goes. Okay, take care of that. They get the Rashmi trigger, Cyclonic Rift, enters the revealed zone. Now, does that go to their hand? Yeah, it goes into the hand. So we do have to watch out for them bouncing Cyclonic Rift on Mindcrank. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for it. Let's go for... So if we tap out for Gilded Lotus, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, tap out for black. I'm trying to think if we should wait one more turn, or they're going to be able to send a bunch of stuff back to the hand. Yeah, let's go and go. Let's go triple blue. Let's go black. Let's go for Guild Mage. See if they fire that Cyclonic Rift off. Kind of puts us in a weird spot. Okay, they do not go for it. And then let's go ahead and hold priority. We'll go for the Tezzeret activation. Yeah, let's go and do this. Let's go -3, choosing our opponent. See if this is good. If that does, there's going to be a lot of Mindcrank triggers on the stack. Then we can activate it in response to that. Okay, so that trigger goes on the stack. In response to that, let's go and activate Dustmantle Guildmage. Just go black, and then activate Dustmantle Guildmage. Target player loses 1 life in response to that Mindcrank trigger on the stack. Let's see if this does stick, if they're going to go for that Cyclonic Rift or not. Now, if they do target Dustmantle Guildmage with the Cyclonic Rift, that will not stop the combo, but if they do bounce Mindcrank back, that will stop it. Let's go and yield to that. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, there we go. Let's go and yield, always yield to that. And that's going to create a loop to where it's going to start milling them out like that. Now, if they did have Cyclonic Rift in the hand like I saw, if they bounce Mindcrank back to the hand, it does stop it. They do have the island. But hey, I'll go and take it. It was a nice long little match, and we had some good little interactions back and forth. So I'll have to go and post it up. Hey, good game. Oh, dang it, sorry. Unfortunately, whenever the game ends like that, I don't get to see the chat. But hey, we do finally close it out with the Mindcrank combo. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.